Ah, listen to that. The early 2000s CGI, the toon shading, the 7 coolest heroes on television. For a lot of us, this right here, this was the Avengers Endgame of its time. Before the MCU was even a twinkle in Kevin Feige's eye, we had the Watchtower, we had the 7, and we had Saturday nights on Cartoon Network. But the Justice League animated series we all know and love, the one with the banter between Flash and Batman, the heartbreaking romance between Hawkgirl and John Stewart, and Superman looking like a total boss, it almost looked very, very different.
Good to see you, Bruce.
It's been a while.
You seem to be holding up pretty well.
I could use some of that Kryptonian DNA.
Today, we're diving deep into the formation of the League, the production battles, the weird pilot that never was, and why Superman looked like he hadn't slept in a week during Season 1. Grab your nth metal mace, and let's talk about the making of the DCAU's magnum opus. The 7, and the ones that got away. So, picture it's the late 90s. Batman Beyond is wrapping up, and Bruce Timm and his crew are looking for the next big thing. For years, Timm actually dodged the idea of a Justice League show. Why? Because it's a logistical nightmare. Think about it. In Batman the Animated Series, you had one dude in a cape fighting a guy with a giant penny. In Justice League, you have to manage 7 characters with wildly different powers. How do you make the Flash look cool without solving every problem in 0.2 seconds? How do you frame a fight scene so Superman isn't just standing there waiting for his cue? It's a nightmare. But the real kicker is what they almost gave us. To pitch the idea, the team put together a sizzle reel, and in that reel, the roster was interesting. They had Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, John Jones, and John Stewart as Green Lantern. Cool, fine. But then they added Robin, Impulse, and a female version of Cyborg. A female cyborg. The network, Kids WB at the time, wanted something that skewed younger. They wanted the youth demographic. Thankfully, the gods of animation smiled upon us. The project got passed on by that block. Bruce Timm took a Hail Mary and called up Cartoon Network, and they said, sure. And just like that, Robin and Femborg were gone. They swapped Impulse for the much cooler Wally West Flash, and the classic 7, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Flash, John Stewart, Hawkgirl, and John were locked in. The voices in our heads. Now, getting the cast together was its own adventure. Kevin Conroy, the GOAT, was obviously back as Batman. His suit in this series? A little detail for you nerds out there. It's a mix of all his previous looks. The simple black and gray from the new Batman Adventures, the blue highlights from the original TAS, and the long ears from Batman Beyond. It's the greatest hits Batsuit. But Superman, we almost lost the voice we all associate with the Man of Steel. Tim Daly, who voiced Supes in his solo series, was actually on board initially, but he got cast in a live-action show, a remake of The Fugitive, and had to step down. That's when George Newbern stepped in, and honestly, it took me years to realize it wasn't Tim Daly. Newbern absolutely nailed the warmth and the power. But here's where it gets funny. When the show first aired, fans were pissed about Superman. Not about the voice, but the face. Look at him in Season 1. See those lines on his face? The weird cheekbone shading? The slight squint? Bruce Timm said they wanted him to look a little older, a little more mature. Fans hated it. They called it Squinty Superman. The internet, as much as it existed in 2001, rioted. So for Season 2, they scrubbed his face clean. They removed the lines, widened the eyes, and suddenly we had the bright, youthful, powerful Superman we all wanted. And while we're on the topic of redesigns, let's talk about the rookie, Wonder Woman. In this version, she wasn't sent to man's world as an ambassador. Nah, she was a renegade, a rebellious Amazon who basically said screw it and left Themyscira during an alien invasion to go fight. It made her a total badass, but also a stranger in a strange land, which was a much more interesting dynamic. The romance and the betrayal. Now, the showrunners made a very deliberate choice with the roster. They didn't want it to be the Superman and his friends show. They specifically didn't pick Aquaman because they didn't want to oversaturate it. They picked John Stewart as Green Lantern to diversify the cast, and they picked Hawkgirl as the second female lead. And that Hawkgirl pick was the masterstroke. She wasn't just the girl with the mace. She was the emotional core of the first 2 seasons. Her romance with John Stewart? Chef's kiss. It was slow burn, it was real, and it made the Season 2 finale, Starcrossed, absolutely devastating. For those who don't remember, spoiler alert for a 20-year-old cartoon, Hawkgirl turns out to be a Thanagarian spy. She betrays the League. The Watchtower is destroyed. John Stewart loses his ring. The team breaks up. It is bleak. It was written to be the series finale. And in the middle of all that destruction, they also hinted at something between Batman and Wonder Woman. Bruce Timm has said they actively disliked the Wonder Woman-Superman pairing from the comics, so they decided to tease the Bat-Wonder dynamic instead. It was never official, but the tension was there. It gave us moments of genuine character depth between the Brooding and the Warrior. The invasion begins. So, how did the League actually get together in the show? It's one of my favorite origin stories because it's so politically charged. The whole thing kicks off with the Imperium invasion. A senator named J. Allen Carter convinces the world to disarm all nuclear weapons and put their faith in Superman. As soon as the weapons are gone, aliens attack. Giant tripods from Mars. It's a brilliant trap. It turns out the real Senator Carter died on a Mars mission years ago, and the Imperium had been impersonating him the whole time, tricking Earth into lowering its defenses. It's during this invasion that the Seven come together. John Johns, the last Martian, breaks out of a government lab to warn them. The team forms out of pure necessity. They fight together, they get captured together, and they escape together. They literally build the Watchtower out of the scrap left over from the war. It's such a strong militaristic origin that sets the tone for the entire DCAU. These guys aren't just friends, they're soldiers. Fallout. So, what happened next? Well, Starcrossed ended the series. The credits rolled, but then Cartoon Network came calling and said, "Hey, we need 39 more episodes." And that's how we got Justice League Unlimited. They blew up the roster. They added dozens of B-list and C-list heroes. Green Arrow, Black Canary, The Question, Booster Gold. Everyone got a chance to shine. They moved away from the two-part episode structure and started doing single episodes with massive serialized arcs, like the epic Cadmus conflict. Justice League was the proof of concept. It was a little clunky at times. Superman was too weak, the animation was a bit stiff, but it laid the groundwork. Justice League Unlimited took that foundation and built a skyscraper. In January 2009, IGN ranked this show, both iterations, as the 20th greatest animated series of all time, and it deserves that spot. It proved that superhero cartoons weren't just for selling toys. They could be about trust, betrayal, politics, and heartbreak. They could treat their audience like adults. So, whether you're a fan of the Squinty Superman era or you're all about the massive brawls in Unlimited, we owe it all to that moment Bruce Timm picked up the phone and called Cartoon Network, and to the universe where a female cyborg got left on the cutting room floor. Thanks for watching. If you want me to dive deep into the Cadmus arc, or maybe rank the top 10 darkest DCAU moments, hit that like button and subscribe. And let me know in the comments, who was your favorite Leaguer? Was it the stoic Martian Hunter or the comic relief Flash? I'm dying to know.